Hey, what's up, losers? Today we're going to talk about a couple of things. What's new, free games, endings, Solja Boys' dope console, Mortal Kombat 11, and our year in review. Ooh.
Hey everybody, welcome to PeanutButter&Triggered. I'm Scott, joined by my man
Jay Eastwood. What's up, dogs?
And we got some. We're glad to be back. I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. What did you get for Christmas?
Oh, what didn't I get for Christmas? I got about 130 hot fudge sundae Pop-Tarts.
Wow.
I got I got a really dope ass espresso machine. God damn, I'm blanking right now. Oh, I got a really cool t-shirt.
That espresso machine probably alone is a whole Christmas, basically.
Yeah, dude, I've been spending a lot of time with it. Hey, which reminds me, I wish that you drank coffee because that would make you the best latte of your life.
I appreciate that. Makes me feel good.
Yeah. That goes for any of you out there. If you're coffee aficionados.
And you happen to be friends with us and happen to be here.
Yeah, or if you happen to pay us $50.
Yeah.
God, that's so weird.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and talk about that?
We have our first donation of $50. A true bro, if you will. Our boy Jacob wants to be on the podcast, so that's going to happen soon. He wants to be with Ben.
Yeah, he wants to be on so bad, and I don't know if this is considered a spoiler or not. He wants to be on so bad only to give Ben a hard time. So those of you out there who will be listening and you're anticipating it, he's going to get a hard time from Jacob. And I don't know if he's going to be like dishing out any sort of like good insults, but he really wants to.
Well, we've had a lot of people just on and off ask to be on the podcast or say, voice opinions to be on it. And our firm thing has been, well, if you pay $50 to our Patreon, you can be on there, thinking that would be a relatively good barrier of entry. But
yeah, and initially it was a joke. Like, we didn't think anybody in their right. Well, I use right mind loosely with our recent donation, but I didn't think anybody in their right mind would ever want to donate $50 to be on.
That being said, Jacob's a cool guy, and
he's okay. He's an okay guy.
It should be good to have him on. He likes playing Counter-Strike and World of Warcraft.
RuneScape too.
So he's a little lame, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about news. We're going to talk about
news.
What we're playing, as he said, and we're going to talk about anticipated games and what endings. What do we like more, multiple endings or singular endings, or just touch on that a little bit. First and foremost, what you playing or doing or seeing?
So I'm watching a new TV show. It's called Sally Forever. It sounds super boring, and it sounds I guess there's really nothing that the title gives away.
Yeah.
But I'm only 2 episodes in. It's about this lady who meets this other lady and leaves her fiance for this woman, and it's super funny. If you like, no, it's on HBO.
Okay.
So if you ever followed the Mighty Boosh or like IT Crowd, it features a lot of the same actors. Okay. It's super funny. There's a lot of nudity in it though. So Scott, I know you can't watch that.
No, I'm only 17, so
yeah,
I can't watch that.
And then I'm still kind of going back and forth between Forza Horizon 4 and playing Red Dead Online. I've not touched the campaign ever since Online came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I had to finish it, and I had to push.
Yeah.
Like, I had to, for the past, I don't even know how long, I've buckled down and done nothing but story missions. Just because I'm like, I want to, before it gets spoiled, I want to know what happens, so.
I'm glad one of us did it.
Yeah. So.
What about you, man?
TV-wise, I watched a couple episodes of that 7-Day show that's on Netflix. You seen that?
No.
It's like 7 days up to a big event, so they have, like the opening of the number one restaurant in the world, 7 days to, the first one's that dog tournament they have at like Madison Square Garden where they like look at dogs. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, I can't remember what it's called.
Anything for my princess.
Yeah. It was interesting seeing them. Basically, it shows how they build up and how they get the whole venue ready and all that stuff, which is kind of interesting. It's a new show on Netflix. I watched that a little bit. And then I'm playing Red Dead. I'm on Epilogue Part 2, so I'm basically done with the game.
You lied to me. You said you were all the way done.
Well, I'm done with the main story, and I'm in Epilogue.
Okay.
Which I'm not going to spoil it for any of the listeners out there, but let me tell you, the ending in that game I felt is almost, it's up there. It's very powerful and it was a good ending.
You cried, didn't you?
No.
Okay.
And then Battlefield. I really like Battlefield.
You're still on it, huh?
Yeah. The online, a lot of people trash it, but I really enjoy it. The tank, fighting with tanks and stuff like that is really fun to me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Rock on.
That's pretty much it for me.
I forgot to tell about one thing I just watched. It's a movie. I finally watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. I gave it a solid A.
Wow.
It was funny. And it was actually interesting.
That's the animated one where... Yeah. Or there's multiple Spider-Man or whatever?
Yeah. Super funny. The animation's like way better than
I saw
than
that.
you would actually like anticipate just by seeing the commercials and the trailers for it. It's really good. It's really well done, and it's animated kind of like a live action comic book.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I heard good things about that. Another one I watched recently is that the documentary on circumcisions that's on Netflix. I just came on that one. Watch that one too.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's definitely very, like, at the end it's very like left leaning, which is fine, but it's very like this guy's like, I'm so mad at my mom because she circumcised me, and so I don't know. It's you'll have to watch it, but it's kind of. But it is interesting going into the history of it and like how, dude, it's terrible. Like they did circumcisions without like even numbing the kid at all, and they used to say.
Go on.
They used to say like, oh, well, the kid can't feel it. And I was like, dude, the kid can feel it. It's not. And so then like in the 70s and 80s, they used to do open surgeries on babies without numbing them. They did open heart surgery on a baby without numbing
Open
them.
heart?
Open heart, because they said it couldn't feel. But it turns out the reason they don't cry is because they go into shock like immediately, because it's a day old baby and you're like cutting off parts of its weenie. Yeah, it's super brutal.
Wait, they were doing open heart or open wiener surgery?
No, so two separate things. They were doing the wiener surgeries, but also doing open heart surgeries on babies without any recourse. That's So
just straight up open wiener surgeries.
something like that. But it's super brutal, dude, and it talks about the story of basically how circumcision became like popular, and the only place it's popular is in America, and no one else does it. And it's not necessary.
Well, I don't even have a penis, so I can't relate.
Triggered. Sorry, that completely derailed us, but that's all I'm watching.
Oh, nice.
We talk a little bit about news. Let's talk about Bethesda again.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
go on.
If you listened in the last podcast, you know Bethesda was really screwing up. And it's just gotten worse. It's just gotten way worse. Bethesda on their website is offering Bethesda rum, which is some sort of rum.
The dark rum.
Yeah, it's just a dark rum. I don't even know if it's a particular product or. Yeah.
It was teased that it was going to be a part of the story where like it would be one of the items that was advertised early on in the Fallout series, and you would see adverts for the dark rum. And basically what was going to happen is Bethesda was going to market it as a collector's item. So not only was it an actual beverage that they wanted to market it as, but they also wanted to have like a cool bottle that looked, Fallout-esque.
Looked just like the Nuka-Cola bottle, which if you've played Fallout is like a little rocket.
Yeah.
Looks like a rocket that, it's molded out of glass. And, and with rum, and it's, has a hefty price tag of $79.99. And after a few delays for, of course, shipping issues, pushing people back a couple weeks, they finally shoved out a video to everyone saying that, look at our production, and it come to find out that all the bottles were just regular-looking rum bottles. Like, even specialty rum bottles, like, look cooler than this. It was like a regular bottle.
With a shitty label. And then they took, like, this piece of plastic that looked kind of like the Nuka-Cola bottle and just clicked it in there. And even when people tried to pour the rum out using with the bottle in it, they couldn't even do it because the plastic bottle lip was higher than the glass lip, so it would pour all over. Jesus.
And it's like Bethesda's just not quality controlling. I think they're like kind of spiraling out of control.
The part that cracks me up is, so if you all are like curious about the video that Scott and I watched, I just like Googled, like I ordered just like I think it's like Dark Rum by Nuka-Cola or something like that.
I found a good video where this guy on the internet, I can't remember his name. Let me see. Oh, I sent it to.
So basically,
go ahead.
He tells a story about his order. He tells a story about how they initially were like, "Hey, it's going to be awesome," and his expectations were set at like a quality bottle that Scott just explained, and then they're like, "Hey, sorry, there's production." Mishaps that we want to make sure that it's up to Bethesda standards. And he makes sure to highlight that too, because he's like, okay, well now I'm actually kind of worried, because as soon as they said it was up to Bethesda standards, it's like, well, we'll see how this works.
This video is by this guy. His name's Yongye, Yongyea.
Do you want me to just put it on?
Yeah, sure. It's 12 minutes long though.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
But it's Bethesda customers feel misled by deceptive marketing of Fallout's Nuka Dark Rum, and this has 72,000 or 720,000 views, so you should be able to find it. 12 minutes kind of goes in depth about it, but this is just, I don't know. Bethesda's just not doing well. When it comes
Yongye.
Yongye.
The guy got swindled.
Yeah, he got swindled. But I don't know. Bethesda, and we're all still looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6, I guess. Yeah.
It's funny because Bethesda is one of those game developers that before I felt like could do no wrong.
I call it a prestige developer.
Yeah.
It's like Rockstar.
Right.
Sony Santa Monica. Like, these got Naughty Dog. Like
Naughty Dog can fuck up. I'm waiting for him to fuck up.
Yeah. But Bethesda's like
wait
falling
for it
from
with
the graces.
Last of Us.
We should have known. They won't fuck up for one. We should have known that after they re-released Skyrim on every single thing they could ever even find, that this would start becoming a problem. They re-released it on everything, and they re-released it multiple times even on computer.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad sign.
Yeah, it's a bad sign. But yeah.
All right, so what else is new?
You want to talk a little bit about your boy, Solja?
Oh, no, actually, I want to talk about Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah, please do.
Before I forget again. I was supposed to talk about this last time, and I don't know how it slipped my mind because I'm super stoked about this. So, the biggest things about...
I didn't get to watch the trailer.
The trailer that a lot of people are going nuts for is it looks as if there's going to be, like, time travel or alternate timelines, which opens the door for the largest roster of any Mortal Kombat.
Well,
so,
Armageddon was a pretty damn big roster.
Oh yeah, but imagine this. Any character who's ever been a part of Mortal Kombat, even if they're dead, even if they're not, there's still a chance that they could be a part of this roster. Mm-hmm. And then...
But will there be a kart racer?
Yeah.
I hope so.
No.
Armageddon had a kart racer.
Yeah, but I doubt there's going to be a kart racer. And then the other thing is that... They teased a new character who may be the new antagonist. She's kind of like the person that's kind of pulling the strings, if you will.
Wow.
There's even DLC content that will allow you to be Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn even looks kind of fucked up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I hope they have the Sub-Zero. It'd be super dope if they had the PlayStation 1 Sub-Zero game, Sub-Zero skin.
That's funny that you mentioned that because in the trailer they had the classic, spelled with a K, they had the classic Scorpion skin. Mm-hmm. It would only make sense if they brought back the classic ninjas.
It'd be cool. Yeah, they're all the exact same, just different colors.
Because they did that in Mortal Kombat 10.
Really?
Do you know this?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You know Mortal Kombat better than I do.
Yeah, dude, they brought back all of the classic skins for all of their ninjas. However, there weren't a lot of ninjas, so they were missing Noob Saibot, who was like, the ultimate badass. They were missing Rain, they were missing Smoke, they were missing...
What about Reptile?
No, they had Reptile. They had Reptile, Ermac, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion. So they had like your big boys, but they didn't have all of the favorites.
Do you know where Ermac's from?
Yeah. So he's a collection of souls. He's not even a person.
No, I'm saying like the name.
Oh yeah, Error Macro.
Yeah, Error Macro.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't even supposed to be for real.
Nope.
Do you know where Noob Saibot comes from? Ed Boon, and John Tobias. It's their last name spelled backwards. Which sounds like the coolest name, though, right?
Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot sounds robotic almost.
That game definitely has the best characters, in my opinion. Like, characters in other games, like Street Fighter, come on, give me a break. The characters might be fun, but like compared to the cool backstories of those guys.
And it took a couple of generations to flesh out these stories too. Like even up until like maybe like Deadly Alliance and Armageddon, you get more backstory out of them.
Well, now it wasn't Jason or something in it. Freddy Krueger definitely was in it.
Yeah, so Freddy Krueger was in 9. Jason, Predator, Alien, like the Xenomorph Alien. I'm trying to think.
People are talking about how like this is going to be the Super Smash Brothers of like horror movies.
Yeah, people are wanting Spawn.
Yeah, he'd fit perfect.
Yeah, and then they're also wanting. They also want Michael Myers to be in it too, which would kind of be. It'd be a good one. It'd be a good idea.
All those would be good. Like they're just fun. I mean, I'm one of those people like add all the characters you want. It's a fighting game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you completely, 100%.
Like even if you don't like one of the characters, and just don't play as them.
Yeah. The other cool thing about the whole like Mortal Kombat trailer is that they're also teasing the fact that there may be actual like melee attacks with weapons.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Like full environmental.
Was it the third game where you had weapons?
No, it wasn't the third game. It was I think it was Deadly Alliance.
There's one before that too.
Or Deception, I can't remember.
Because I remember taking the hammer and like hitting the guy at the camera, like on N64.
So yeah, Shao Kahn had a hammer and Scorpion had his axe. But those almost don't even count because like these ones are like full weapons that you can like carry with you and use it like for the entire fight. So they tease about that, how there's environmental elements to each stage. And then a lot of people are super excited about some of the potential stages too, because you see like the temple guards, they're completely dead and decaying. So a lot of time has gone by in this, and I think a lot of people are going to be curious to see what the story will be. Yeah.
That's going to be cool.
So, Scotty, I really do hope you play this one. This is something I feel like anybody can
I'll borrow it from you.
Or, I mean, we could just play against each other.
Yeah, you'll probably smash me, but yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah,
it is.
So
I mean,
if we played Madden, I'd smash you, so.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. So, the big idea about Mortal Kombat 11 is that this is going to be the most immersive / just big game that any Mortal Kombat has ever been able to do. The graphics looked amazing too, but I know it was just like one of those fight scenes, so it might
looks
just
cool.
be a cutscene. And it'll be coming out April 2019, which kind of gives us a nice segue
into most anticipated.
Yeah. So
we didn't finish news.
I thought we did finish news.
We haven't talked about PlayStation exclusives or anything.
Oh yeah.
Or Solja Boys' new console. The best console around.
Yeah. Why don't you take it away with other parts of news then?
So, Solja Boy, if you don't know who he is, he's a famous young hip-hop artist. He's selling bootleg video game consoles on his website out of nowhere. And the funny thing is they're not even labeled. He calls it his console, but it's literally it's called the Solja Game Handheld. He's selling it for $149.
Oh, he's selling the handheld for $99.
Oh, $99 for $99 the handheld for $99 and the game console for $149. Now, the interesting thing is this is literally, you can purchase this on like Alibaba, and you can purchase that game console at any kind of Chinese website. And it definitely has tons of knockoff ROMs that come on it, which is again illegal. And Nintendo, I'm sure, will be on this soon, especially because it's blown up.
Yeah.
But it literally looks like a little Xbox 360. Or no, it's not Xbox 360, Xbox One.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it has a whole bunch of ROMs on it. Like, it has
800 ROMs.
800 bootleg and illegal games on it. And the funny thing is he's taken a lot off the top, because I think that console you can get for like 60 or 70.
I think it's 80.
80, for like off the Chinese market or whatever, and he's selling it for 150, and it's just
it's terrible, man. I've seen somebody unbox this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's $80 console.
Yeah,
the $60 handheld or an $80 console. I've seen somebody play this thing, and they tore the whole thing apart. It's like a less than a 1 gigahertz processor, a single core 1 gigahertz processor. There's so much like screen tearing while you're playing the game.
It can't even run those games.
Although somebody did mention that it does play PlayStation 1 Classic, or better than the PS1 Classic.
Oh wow, surprising. I heard the PS1 Classic got hacked, but I could be wrong.
Ugh, it was a huge mess. But it's insane how Soldier Boy thinks he's going to be able to get away with this.
Well, we'll see when he has to pay Nintendo royalties for 800 games. I'm pretty sure they can smack him with like a pretty expensive fine for each game.
Yeah.
My phone, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't apologize.
But
We're
yeah,
just running a podcast here.
but yeah, 100%. He can get in some deep water with that. So I don't know why you'd even do that.
I wouldn't.
Nextly,
PlayStation
Network games. You got Steep. You got what was the other one? You just closed it.
I know. I accidentally closed it. Why don't you tell everybody?
How about you open the Xbox? Open the Xbox One here in a second, and I'll talk about them. Xbox is Celeste, and is it WRC?
Yeah, WRC 6, which is like Rallycross.
Yeah, Lara Croft, Guardian Tomb of the Guardians or whatever that is. And then Far Cry 2 for the Xbox 360 as well. Celeste is the big game there. One game of the year, or was right in that game of the year talk. And then rally car racing, I think a lot of people will care about.
No, I care about that one.
I didn't say I said a lot of people.
Oh. Well, I do. I do care about that one. That one looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I don't know. Games are
Games are definitely meh. Like, I apologize for anybody that did like and play Celeste. It looked super boring and immature to me.
And IGN gave it a 10.0.
Yeah, so goes how much I know.
Like as good as God of War is basically what they're saying.
Fuck off, dude. There's no way.
And then PlayStation games are Steep, which is the our boy Radford was pumping that game up. Like how dope it was, yeah.
This does not look like a game he would play.
He said it was dope. He said it was a lot of fun.
All right.
And then also Portal Knights, as well as Fallen Legion Flames of Rebellion, which I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, so...
Meh games again. I think Steep will be kind of cool, but it's not like I'm like, oh my god, Steep.
I'm probably going to download it now, because if Radford likes it, I might like it.
So, yeah. The games of January, I think, all around are meh.
Yeah, and I would expect PlayStation to kind of take the early lead on something like this, given the statistics that have come out for 2018. Scott, do you know the statistics off the top of your head?
So I heard this on another podcast. I believe it was IGN's podcast. Don't quote me, but they said they took all the games from the Nintendo. The free games you get with your subscription, Xbox, and then PlayStation. Nintendo's isn't nearly as big as obviously the other two. Nintendo's were like in the $350 worth of games that you got so far. Xbox was about $1,000, and then PlayStation was about $1,500 that you got, which is good. I mean, that's good. I mean, most people. I mean, it's $50 a year.
Yeah.
So that's a good deal. That looks fun, right?
Yeah, I'm watching the gameplay for Steep right now. The graphics suck.
No, it's just that's a low quality. It's low quality.
Low quality.
That recording.
Okay, well, it looks like it sucks, but it looks fun.
It's showing Olympics.
Yeah.
Olympic skiing.
Downhill, like a downhill
I know,
ski.
It's making me want to go down and play too.
Yeah. Hey, we'll be right back.
But yeah, so pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The last piece of news I have that I think is interesting that the people have been talking about is apparently Bloodborne Studio has 2 games in the works. And so Ben's not here to talk about it, but
he's probably jacking off about it now, though.
Yeah, he probably is. Heard that. But yeah, let's talk about most anticipated games.
Yeah, new year, new me, right? Which means I'm going to be buying a lot of games for me. The one that I can immediately say that I'm going to buy is Resident Evil 2. Scotty, what do you think?
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 looks amazing, and it's right around the corner. Isn't it January? I believe it's January. Golly, that game looks good. And someone, I think I talked about this last week. January 25th. But someone played, IGN played 6 hours of it and said that they loved it. So
yeah, well, and then the other thing about the game is like every piece of gameplay just looks fun to watch. So like I could easily watch somebody play that game and still have fun. That's one of the that's a very very good litmus test for a proper game.
People are saying too that it feels just like Resident Evil 4, but you're in Resident Evil 2. I'm excited to explore Resident Evil 2's world, and especially, like I said last time, if it actually connects the two worlds together, or the two games together, because playing it a second time as Leon or as Claire, depending on who you start as, is something that I'm really excited about.
Yeah. No, that's great. Now, another game that I think a bunch of people are going to be stoked for is Sekiro.
Yeah,
Sekiro.
I'm still kind of upset they didn't just call it Tenchu, because it was originally Tenchu.
And this is confirmed?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, it was originally, when they originally started making it, it was Tenchu.
Fuck. Okay, that's triggering.
Yeah. But they said that as they got further away from realism and more into, like, a different kind of world, I guess. Well, I mean, like, a more... less realistic, because Tenchu didn't have any... Oh no, did it? Have some crazy, like, demons and shit.
It's been a long time. Not really.
I don't remember that, but this definitely has monsters and demons and stuff. So
yeah, they still could have had Tenchu, though.
I agree.
Whatever, who cares? It's still...
I would be more excited if it just said Tenchu on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might.
But yeah.
That has a release date of March 22nd, so that's right around the corner, if you really think about it. I think that'll be fine. Anthem,
which I personally could care less about.
Yeah, I'm not really...
That's February 22nd of 2019. I did... And the next... another one is Tom Clancy's The Division 2. I really like The Division, and I played The Division 2.
I'm waiting for it to suck upon release, and then they fix it, and then everybody likes it, but then it's too late because nobody's playing it anymore.
No one's playing it anymore, yes. Yeah. The Division 2 was good. Like I said, I got to play about 20 minutes of it, and... I mean, it felt like The Division 1. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love how many guns there are and stuff. You know, it's like an MMO.
Yeah.
This is a game. The next game we're going to talk a little bit about is a game that I recommended. Didn't I recommend you to play? Have you played it?
I have not played it.
Metro Exodus. If you haven't played Metro, you can get the Metro collection for relatively cheap. It comes with both the first and the second one. And if you like a linear shooter, it's a lot of fun. February 15th, I think that said. I'm pretty excited about that. Of course, Cyberpunk 2. I don't know if we talked about that. Cyberpunk is going to be cool.
Yeah, dude, and there's really not much to be angry about if everybody's seen the gameplay. It's super immersive. The gameplay looks beautiful.
It's from CD Projekt Red, which is another prestige one.
Yeah.
The creators of The Witcher.
They can't fuck up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're bangers, right?
They're bangers. Pitching bangers.
One that I'm excited about that doesn't really have too much information out. In speaking of prestige developers, this one isn't by one of them. This is one of those developers that fucks people over a lot. EA.
It's by EA, but it's being made by Respawn.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which kind of reminds a lot of people about The Force Unleashed, where you basically are a Padawan and you choose your journey between the light and the dark side.
Yeah, see, that's what I want. I want a game where I always say that all the lightsaber games, your lightsaber ends up being a baseball bat. Like, you end up whacking enemies with it until they kind of either fall apart or fall over dead.
Yeah.
I truly hope that in this new one, if you slice someone in half, they die, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I know, but I want that to happen.
It doesn't really happen in the movies either.
Well, I mean, if a Jedi gets into a group of, like, clone troopers...
However, it did happen to Darth Maul, and he's a badass, and he came back.
Yeah, he did. But if you get into the droids, like, the only reason they did it in the game is or in the movie, because it was be gory. When they get in with the droids, they cut those guys all sorts of up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess they also cut off Luke's hand.
Yeah, and then also... Jango Fett gets his head cut off by Mace Windu.
Yeah.
And also, Count Dooku gets both of his hands cut off and then his head cut off. Yeah.
That was dope. Yeah. And then Mace Windu gets his hand cut off.
Yeah, and gets shot out of a window.
That was tight, dude.
So there are people getting cut off.
Alright. That's not bad. Alright, what's the next game?
Days Gone.
Yes.
Which definitely looks interesting.
It's like SimCity with zombies, kind of, because you can make like little Goldberg machines, with Rube Goldberg machines,
and Norman Reedus.
Yeah. Oh,
it looks just like it reminds me of Norman.
Yeah,
Reedus.
because he's driving that chopper.
Yep.
He's riding that chopper. It looks like a fun game, I hope it's good.
Yeah, I hope they can change up the whole formula of zombies. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of old at this point, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of and I guess disconcerting is the fact that Dying Light 2 was a game that I was anticipating. Doesn't seem to show up on any sort of list for games of 2019. In fact, they're no closer to releasing or to having a release date than they were when they showed their trailer at E3.
Yeah.
So, is it really going to be a game that comes out in 2019? I don't know.
Who makes Dying Light again? Studio.
Well, I don't remember. Let's see here.
I get that. That's going to be telling to you right there.
Don't say that.
Yeah, I don't know any of those people.
Yeah, me either.
Techland. I mean, I don't. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think they did anything else. I guess they did Dead Island.
Yeah, well, Dying Light's
it was just offshoot, right? A lot of those
kind of, yeah. I think it was, yeah, exactly, same world and everything.
Well, and then a lot of the people that went into making Dead Island went to make Dying Light, which is, I mean, you see
they're similar games, yeah. But yeah,
wow.
I don't know if there's anything else huge.
Battletoads, dude.
Oh yeah, I know you're excited.
Dust off your Xboxes if you don't use them because you're about to play some Battletoads.
Which I don't.
I do for Forza Horizon.
Well, I don't blame you on that one, Bubby.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some pretty exciting games. And let me take a second to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know if I told you this. My cousin bought my cousin bought a PlayStation 3 to play Kingdom Hearts 3. That's how long ago they announced it. Yeah. So then she bought a PlayStation 4 to play Kingdom Hearts. And then, yeah, still hasn't got it.
My brother Mikey won't buy a current gen console because he's afraid the next gen console is going to come out.
A lot of people are like that.
Yeah, but like he hasn't purchased one for like the last 3 years. He's like, oh, there's one right around the corner. It's like, hey, just buy one
I know.
and then play with people that have the PlayStation 4 because you know that the PlayStation 5 is going to come out maybe 2020 and they're going to be insanely expensive.
Yeah, my guess is like August 2020 we'll see a PlayStation 5.
I feel like it's more like August 2020.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
One thing, just the whole cloud gaming thing is coming, so I feel like PlayStation will have that. I don't know if you've ever seen, there's certain games that they've talked about where some of the computing will be done on the console itself and some will be done somewhere else. Have you heard about this before?
No.
So basically, you fire a cannon at a building. The building falling down is actually cloud simulated somewhere else, so that the animation and it falling apart is done on one of their servers, but the rest is done on your console so that you can actually do more in the game on the console. So it's like kind of a mix between cloud computing and computing there on the hardware, which is interesting.
Okay.
Speaking of that, I recently purchased, I decided to do a monthly subscription to this thing called Shadow. And Shadow, you basically get a gaming PC somewhere else, and you stream the whole thing to your computer. You can play on whatever you want. You can play on your, like on a crappy laptop, you can play maximum spec games because you're literally streaming everything. But the interesting thing is when you open the app, literally it's a computer you have. So you save stuff to the desktop. You have a certain amount of memory on this computer.
What is this called?
Shadow.
No, now we're not sponsored in any way by these fools.
No.
But it sounds like a really cool concept.
It is, and a lot of people gave it really good reviews and said that even with slower connections like 40 megabits, you could have a decent experience.
That's not bad. A lot of people out there are running 40 megabits.
Yeah, it's coming definitely really common even for like broadband, not even cable.
Sure.
So I have a gigabit, so I should be able to run it just perfect. I should be ideal, but I'm excited to try a lot of the games that don't run well on my computer on that, because although it's expensive, it's $35 a month. $35 a month if you have if you play computer games a lot, might be worth it, especially because they always keep it up to date. With computers, it sucks. As soon as you buy, a computer, the new graphics card comes out. With this, you'll always have the newest. You'll always run everything on super high.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something I'm excited about. And the only bad thing is I bought it right, and I was like, all right, let's do it. I was like ready to play, and it wouldn't let me log in. And then I look on the website, and it says, give us 6 to 10 days to activate your account. So I don't know what that means.
I think you just got swindled, dude.
Maybe I did.
Huh.
But then I looked online, and everybody said that's what happened. So, yeah.
All right. So those are the games of 2019 that we're excited about. If we miss one
more, Death Stranding.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding. You know what? I'm still really nervous about that game.
Yeah, me too.
But I think I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
it's almost. I feel like
no
weird.
matter how much I watch, I'm still gonna be like, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. And I don't even know what the release date for Death Stranding is. Have you heard of anything?
No.
Well, let's find out. Well, yeah, but
look, it says
release date TBA.
Death Stranding release date teased by Hideo Kojima 2019.
Yeah, but
Death Stranding Hideo Kojima teases 2019. I know, but 2019.
God dang it!
Wow.
Hey, what would you do if Snake made a cameo?
That'd be dope. What if after all this?
He teases his
and
other games.
John Hader is back, and he just walks in, and you're like, dude, this whole time everyone's making the joke that it's all about the story of an Amazon delivery guy.
Yeah, it's called Walking Simulator or Delivery Simulator. I'll give it a shot.
It's either going to be terrible or really good.
It could be all right.
Maybe.
Probably not though. So there you have it. We got all of our picks for 2019 up. If we miss one, and you're really heated about it, hit us up, and then we'll probably talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you have a problem with anything, just hit up Dick Cheney on Twitter, and he'll follow up with us.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. So let's move on to endings.
Yeah, so I'm bringing this, I brought this up because I found it to be interesting. I think that there's a lot of games that have multiple endings.
Mortal Kombat, dude.
Mortal Kombat, I'm sure it does. Every time you play as a different character, the ending's different. But there are certain games, like The Last of Us, where it definitely does not have branching endings, but that's good. That's a really good thing. We have Red Dead, which I won't spoil the endings, but there are multiple endings, which are both good as well. There's two of them.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto 5 that has multiple endings. It's been
Yep.
so long since I played it.
Yeah, I think it has a 5 or 3.
Even as far back as Chrono Trigger has multiple endings too. There's a lot of games. What do you think's more powerful? Do you think that they should just allow an ending, or does it depend on the game? Allow a single ending, I mean, or does it just depend on the game if it has multiple endings, if you like it, or?
So I can see the merit in both, but if it's me, I want multiple endings because that gives it more replay value.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Not saying that like somebody's gonna want to play the whole damn game again just to get to that alternate ending. I think that it should be done in a way where you can very easily get to each of those endings and not have to play the whole thing again. And
a lot of games have endings where it's two separate endings, but the end is the same.
Yeah.
So like for example, there's two endings. In both endings, the character dies, but they die in different ways. For example. So like I guess the lore or the canon stays relatively consistent. But it's different.
Well, then you can go kind of overboard. Like, I don't know if you remember that game Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one went crazy because they did the whole, like, butterfly effect thing where, like, every little thing you did determined what the ending was going to be, and there were, like, thousands of combinations that you could do for, like, I don't even know.
Did you beat that game?
I beat it once and was like, you know what? I'm not into this.
I was the same way.
Literally gave it away.
I felt like I feel like that game, when I beat it, I put it down and never played it again because I was like, that was my ending. That's what happened.
Right.
Like, I don't need to replay. That was the story.
How many people did you have survive?
I think 1 or 2.
I had 3.
Because at the very end, Hayden Panettiere, or whatever her name,
Yeah.
literally on the last button prompt, I messed up because you have to hold the controller really still.
Yeah.
And on the very last one, she died. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I made all this
cool video game mechanics in that game, but I just feel like it felt short.
Well,
it fell short.
The whole first half was super dope, and the second half wasn't good.
Yeah, it got a little outrageous.
Dude, but they did get me good. I can't believe I fell for it. I was playing as the chick, and I was walking behind the group at the end, and I heard someone screaming down the tunnel to the left, and I was like, oh, go check it out. I just fell for it, and she got killed, and I was just like...
That kind of happens to me because I have this like hero complex in video games. Like, so Katie watches me play Red Dead whenever there's somebody that's like waiting or like screaming for help. I go off like as soon as I hear it. And Katie's like, "Don't do it, man! They're gonna hurt you." And next thing I know, boom! I get ambushed and I gotta fight my way out.
Yeah, there's one part in that game, Until Dawn, where you're arguing and they have like the pretty annoying chick, and I was aiming a gun at her, and you don't know if at the end if it's a sickness or what it is, and it's not a sickness, but I didn't know it at the time, and I just shot her right in the face, and I should have shot her in the face. Like, I just murdered her like straight up.
Oh my god.
I was like, well, maybe it is a sickness. I was thinking in my mind, maybe it is. Boom! And I shot her, and I was like, oh shit, okay, well, maybe it was a sickness. And then right after you find out it's not. I was like, that's powerful.
By the way, Scott is the craziest person to play video games with, especially if you play Red Dead, because he will take like the stagecoaches off-roading. He'll fight bears with his bare hands.
Well, there's two bears chasing me.
Jesus, I've never played.
You never off-roaded
like that.
You never off-roaded in a stagecoach. That's
I didn't
super
even.
fun.
I didn't even think to do that until you said something.
Excuse me, sorry.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts on single endings?
I think they can be super powerful.
Like what?
I think that there's a couple different. If you create the game, like for example, in Grand Theft Auto, you create your character. I think you create the character, you should create the ending. You know how you do things should create the ending. I think if you don't create the character, for example, in The Last of Us, where it's like Ellie is Ellie and Joel is Joel, they're not you don't make decisions for them that much. You know, they are.
You don't really create the character in Grand Theft Auto though.
Well, I mean, you put their hair on and you select what cars they have.
Online, yeah.
But I mean, when you play, you can play as Franklin with a huge fro.
Oh, sure. I get what you're saying.
Like, you do a lot of customization, and you select what they do as well. Like, throughout the game, you're selecting where they're going and who they're talking to.
Yeah.
And what you skip and that kind of stuff. So not as much, but yeah. Whereas in The Last of Us, you don't select anything. You know? So I think it just depends on the game.
Well, and then with that being said too, like for single game or single ending games, like, my favorites, like, Metal Gear. A lot of the stories are really, really good just the way they are. I mean, albeit they probably have like really, really long cutscenes that you wish you could skip.
Yeah, like 2-hour cutscenes.
That was pretty outrageous.
The last one in Guns and Patriots or whatever.
Yeah.
That was so long.
You know what? I was a little pissed off about it, and I set the controller down because I had no idea when it was going to end. But when it was all said and done, I really enjoyed that game. That was one of my favorite games ever.
I like that game a lot too, just because of the gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and then it kind of threw a wrench into the whole thing when you have the PMC locked guns. Like, you can't just pick up a gun and use it. Like, it's locked.
Yeah. It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
You know? It's better than in other games where it's like, you know, you haven't unlocked the AK, so you can't pick it up. It just disappears.
Right.
It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you actually had to unlock it, which is kind of fun.
Well,
cool.
You know what? I was thinking about this. Then there are games that kind of end, but like quite literally in the sense where they kind of end. Like Spider-Man. It kind of ends, and then you go on playing, and it just doesn't end.
No, yeah, for sure.
Those are kind of annoying.
But at the same time, those open world games you want to keep playing.
Yeah, no, that part's true, but at the same time, I feel like there's no resolution.
That could be. I didn't play Spider-Man. You're saying in general there's some games like that?
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man was one of them, and then the only other one that I can think of was like some of the Batman games. But even then, like those Batman games were dope.
Yeah, those Batman games were good. There are games that have really shitty endings and really anticlimactic endings. But But yeah, I mean, I felt like God of War's ending was relatively anticlimactic. You know?
Do tell.
Well, I mean, at the end, you do find out that,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that Atreus is actually Loki. I mean, that's the reveal. But at the end, you're standing on this mountaintop, and he's like, boy. And it just kind of, rolls to credits.
What's the significance of him being Loki?
Well,
I've never played any of them.
Do you know who Loki is?
Like, in mythology? Yeah.
So, Loki brings Ragnarok and the destruction of the world. So it's said that he's the one who literally starts basically up the apocalypse. So in that reveal, they're basically saying that Kratos' spawn will cause the end of the world. Loki's also the trickster god, so everything he does is a trick, and he does things for fun, and so it's kind of.
Do you see elements of that as the game goes?
Yeah, if you go back and you look, there's a couple other hints throughout the game, for example. Loki's father, there's not much known in... They do fit Kratos in Norse mythology. If you go read in Norse mythology, what he does matches what Kratos is. They say someone who can control lightning, that's Kratos. And then also he's the ultimate striker or something like that, which in the game, Kratos is one of the main things he does is handheld, hand-to-hand fighting, which is never done in the old games. So... Obviously, they were he's also the creator of fires, which I don't know if you remember the parts in the game where you can create big fires and you fly through Valhalla, or not Valhalla, but...
In Mortal Kombat, he did that.
Really?
In Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah.
He had really cool projectile attacks.
And he did that in the old games too. He'd hit the ground and rocks would come out and stuff. So that's another thing. So they fit Kratos in Norse mythology, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, the reveal at the end of the game was he was Loki, which is cool, but that's all they revealed. It wasn't like Kratos died. It wasn't like anybody died, or there was no big, thing, which maybe that's just because they're trying to lead into the next one. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, they did open it up for another one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well then.
Well, there has to be more. I mean, they just basically showed that Atreus is Loki and nothing else. Also, the game, if you go back to his house after the game, you see Thor's hammer. He comes down a guy comes down in front of the house and he has Thor's hammer, so it's obviously Thor. So obviously, at some point you have to fight him. The whole time they talk about Odin, and you never see Odin, so... some point, Odin's got to come into it, They see Boulder, which I think's Thor's brother.
I'm not really familiar with that.
Yeah. Odin is just the king of the gods, and the whole time they talk about fighting him or something, and you never even see him.
Huh.
And whatever the next game is, he has to be fleshed out. I don't know how else, There's going to be more God of Wars.
Okay, so in reference to endings, that was one of the games that had a for sure ending that you're okay, cool, that was perfect.
No, I thought the ending wasn't that good. It was anticlimactic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But it might just be because it's leading into the second one. It's like the end of the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. You're okay.
I'll be honest. I watched every single one of those Lord of the Rings movies. They all bled into each other, so I know exactly what you're talking about. You're okay, cool, whatever. And then you gotta be you wait for the next one, hoping that it's gonna make the previous one all worth it. So that's the vibe that you got with God of War 4.
Yeah, and that's the same vibe I got with Fantastic Beasts.
The movies.
This is off topic, but yeah.
Huh.
You watch the end and you're okay, that was definitely a second movie.
Were you pissed off that Johnny Depp was in it?
No.
Some people really loved it and some people hated it.
I like Johnny. I like, as an actor, if you separate out the fact that he's an asshole, he's good at being a weird dude.
He was good in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah. According to my mom, when he was in 21 Jump Street, he bought her a drink. This is 21 Jump Street back in the day, in the 80s.
Wait, Johnny Depp bought your mom a drink?
That's what she claims.
Well, why'd she she would lie about that because Johnny Depp was the fucking man back then.
Well, this was before he was that famous.
He was pretty damn famous in 21 Jump Street.
No, the original 21 Jump Street.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is while they were filming it.
Yeah. He was really popular back then.
Wow, she said that he wasn't that popular. She said people were coming up to him and talking to him, and that she felt like she shouldn't talk to him and just left him alone, and he came up to the bar and said, "Hey, I'm buying you a drink because you just left me alone, unlike everyone else. That's what she claims.
Huh.
My mom's not a liar, so
Well, yeah.
I'm going to take her at face value.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah. All right. Well, what else? Do we have anything else? I think that's some pretty quality.
What's your year in review?
The year in review.
For us.
We opened up this whole thing with PUBG versus Fortnite. You remember?
Yeah, I do remember.
To give everyone the story, I just to close out this year, since you'll get this on the 31st.
Hey,
when you're listening to this, tomorrow it's 2019. Yay! Nice. But me and Jay were standing around, and we decided. I was like, dude, I've always wanted a podcast, and he said, dude, actually, I'm thinking about starting a bunch of podcasts. No,
yeah,
like a
podcast, like a
network, exactly. And I was like, dude, we should do one. And he was like, yeah, okay. And then we just, like a week later, we had put like all the.
Was it even a week? Because I think I had a bunch of the equipment for it already. I think we literally started like 3 days later.
We used the other mics.
Yeah.
And stuff that didn't work out too well.
Man, I'm sorry for you all that had to endure those. I think it was like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah. Well, like, it was cool because we just, I don't know, people talk about doing things all the time, and we saw this, someone else, well, you guys even, were going to start another podcast, and it took you like months, but we just put pen to paper and just started putting out content, and it's been fun. I think we have pretty good content. I think this is episode 28. That's pretty cool. 28, that's 6 months of working and editing and, you know, coming up with ideas. And so thanks for everyone who's been listening.
No kidding. I mean, the other thing that's really cool about like just even putting stuff out is knowing that people actually listen to it and like care about it as much as we do.
Yeah, sometimes me and Jay are like hanging out like in a group of friends or in a social settings, and people that we know will come up and be like, wow, you're like from Peanut Butter and Triggered. I'm like, yeah.
It feels weird.
It feels weird. It's like almost like you're a tiny, like little tiny mini celebrity, because people know you and listen to you outside of your little social circle, which is really cool. And we've gotten some cool donations from people and stuff, and
some outrageous ones now.
Yeah, like which he's getting a big shout out, and we need him a sticker if we haven't got him a sticker.
Yeah, we do actually. That's a good point. I gotta find those.
Yeah, I might have one or two, but I might have them. I'm sure I do because I packed. Oh, there you go. There's a sticker right there. But yeah, so I would just have to say thanks to everyone. It's been cool. It's cool that we've created something that I think still has a little bit of steam in it.
Yeah, I agree. And even through all the times that like maybe we skip a week or something like that, like thank you for everybody that's stuck with us, because like there's been stuff that's been going on, and it's just out of our control.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I would say that like we're definitely not done growing. I think that this is just the beginning. Like 6 months in, things are just gonna get better. We're gonna try to come up with something to hopefully make the quality better. We're going to be toying around with in a non-sexual way. We're going to be toying around with some different programs.
Yeah,
and we're also going to be hopefully playing more games and start branching out into some more of those types of things.
Like let's plays or whatever. And then live streaming. I still feel like our audio quality is super high. Pretty much like episode 5, we were dialed in as well as anybody else, which is really cool. And we both we're gonna soon have 2 spaces to do it in.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a work in progress, but we're definitely.
And then maybe we'll branch out in some merch.
Yeah, I have some ideas actually.
Wow,
but yeah.
Hey, neat.
Well, shout out to Jacob now. Shout out to Robbie. Shout out to Patrick. Our 3 Patreons. Supporters, if you will.
Yeah.
Supporters, past and present.
Sure.
And shout out to everybody else, the great one, Kooky Lukey. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to
Banny.
Yeah, they listen.
Shout out to Ben's mom, Thodes.
Yeah, shout out to Mrs. Don Marie.
Shout out to my lady. Shout out to my sister, who, for some reason, loves Scott.
Hey, shout out.
That's messed up. I'm her flesh and blood, Patricia.
Shout out, Patricia. You're really cool.
Yeah, and I guess and
Raven. Raven has been a huge listener. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that next year is going to be a big year.
Yeah, watch out. Peanut Butter
out.
and Trigger is going all the way to the top of the iTunes downloads. Look out, Joe Rogan. Look out, Serial. Here we come. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good 2019.
Later.
Bye.